1 second. I'm dealing with some technical difficulties here. Just give me 1 second. All right. I think we're working through it. I think we're good. Can everyone hear me all right? Everyone got me okay, hear me okay, see me okay, all that fun jazz. Good to see you guys. I figured we are going to have some sort of technical difficulties. It's been a minute since we've done one of these live streams. I think it's been 3 months. We did one just after the NFL draft. But man, oh man, is it good to be back. I see some comments flown in already, some things flown in already. I see Raymundo let me know that everything's good. So I appreciate you guys. I knew we were going to deal with some stuff, right? Anytime you're coming back from a break like we did, there's going to be some hiccups. I of course did my podcast. Maybe some of you didn't know that, but I did a podcast during the off season, so a little bit different than doing a live show. But man, am I excited to be back doing the live shows. These are a lot of fun, and I'm super excited for it. I hope you guys are excited as well. Last year was our first year doing it, and I feel like we built up a really fun crew that it almost felt like a weekly hangout with friends. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, let's see who's checking in. We got the Tullys watching, of course. Corey's there from New Ulm. I don't know if I know Logan usually is looking forward to when it's actual football season. He doesn't want to hear me ramble any other time. Paul checking in from Maryland. Good to see you, Paul. I don't know. You might be a new face. If so, welcome. Ron, as always. Ron, good to talk to you the other day, man. We got Raymundo checking in from California. We got Gabe as well. Gabe, good to see you. Gabe, I am getting your package out this week. Sorry, I'm a little delayed on everything. I figured with the live show being Tuesday, I'd just wrap all of these together. Swade Coda over in Minnesota. Christy, good to see you. I don't know if you were part of the show last year at all, but it's good to have you. Alfonso in Texas, good to see you. Tony, my man, good to see you as well. Let's see here. Swade Coda, and then Kirby. Kirby's here to lose another giveaway. Kirby did pretty good during giveaways for the podcast. Man, can you believe it's already football season again? I feel like it's tough. Tough to be here already. Awesome. Logan, good to see you as well. Chris, my guy, what's up, man? Is this Keith? Am I right on that memory? My memory's terrible, so that might be wrong. But we got a lot to talk about. Training camp, all that fun stuff. But before I do, during my podcast, I was doing giveaways every single week, and I need to draw the last winner. So last week I did episode 20, and I need to draw the winner for that. The winner of that is going to get this awesome Willie Davis signed 8x10. Really cool photo of him rushing the passer right there. Quarterback looks like I'm like a weatherman here trying to figure out my rights and lefts backwards. Quarterback looks like he's getting the ball out, but it's a pretty cool photo with him rushing the passer. It says Hall of Fame 81. So really cool print. Let's see who got that. This was kind of my tradition of how I drew names during the podcast era. So let's see who we got. Swade Coda. Nice job, man. I'll get this one out to you this week. Actually, I got to get some packages out. So congratulations, Swade Coda, on that one. You're already on the board, and we haven't even started the live show. Speaking of, let's get this link for the giveaways. If you're new here, if it's your first time watching, first time joining us, there is a link that I am posting in the comments. You can fill out the information there, and you could enter for your chance to win a giveaway thanks to my friends over at Nicolet Law. The only caveat is you need to be here to claim it. So you don't have to be paying attention 100% of the time, but just make sure you're popping in. If you hear your name, just make sure you claim it. That way we can draw a prize for you. We're going to do it very similarly to last year where we have you pick a number. I got mystery envelopes. I don't even know the order of everything. I do a really good shuffle on everything. It's all very randomized, but we got some good prizes. I see my boy Scotty. Good to see you, Scotty. Hope everything's going well, man. Hopefully the family's doing well. There's a lot to talk about, guys. Training camp is in full effect, and there's a lot going on. First, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about the new jerseys that they dropped, the 1923 jerseys. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Feel free to drop me a comment. What do you guys think of them? I'm a pretty big fan. I almost bought one Thursday morning. I almost bought one Thursday morning when they first debuted, but I admittedly don't wear jerseys that much anymore. And so I was pretty hesitant to pull the trigger on one. I was going to make an exception. If they had an Edgerrin Cooper one, I was going to buy it. No questions asked. But they did not have an Edgerrin Cooper jersey. So I said it wasn't destined to be. I saw the full-size helmets are like $1,500 if you were to buy one, which I love you, Packers Pro Shop. I think the helmets are cool, but $1,500 for a helmet is wild. And I know they're all hand painted and hand done or whatever. So I get it, but man, $1,500 is a lot for a helmet. But they had some really cool merchandise. I almost bought a sweatshirt as well. I didn't pull the trigger on it quite yet, but still mulling it over. There's a lot of cool stuff there. I'm pretty excited about that new uniform. Gabe says he's on board with them as well. He's a big fan. Keith says, nice shirt. Thank you. This is from the Rawhide Foundation, which you can kind of see right here. They have a Bart and Cherry Star Museum, which is pretty cool to check out if you're ever in town. Tony says he loves the new jerseys. I'm with you, Tony. I think they're really cool. I think they're a lot of, I like that we're seeing more variations of these. We saw, we didn't see them for a while. And then was it 2010? They debuted them again with the number throwback. And then we'd see them every like 4-ish years, would maybe see a new one. But it seems like as of late, we've been getting them every couple of years, which is a lot of fun. Alfonso said, I like the mini helmets, but they are in back order until January. Yeah, it's crazy how quick everything's like flying off the shelves for them. I remember in 2010 when they dropped the alternate uniforms, and they had some beanies that were available as part of that. And I think those were reselling on eBay for hundreds of dollars because they were selling out so quickly. I don't know. It's crazy. I'm fortunate that I'm near Lambeau Field and I can go to the pro shop all the time. And we do go to the pro shop all the time. My son Mason loves to watch or ride the escalators every single time. We will go probably every weekend to Lambeau Field. So Christy said retro is in. Christy, you are not kidding. So I absolutely love at the pro shop that we're seeing a lot more like 90s stuff. There's a picture of Holmgren I've posted before where he's wearing this like windbreaker. It looks like flame. I don't know. It's kind of a weird design. It's like not flames, but it's the Packers colors, and it's kind of all like weirdly spread across the coat. Well, long story short, I was in the pro shop and they have that coat now, and it's a retro coat. They have retro jerseys in there now with like Leroy Butler and some of those guys from yesteryears. That's super cool. I'm such a fan of it. I'm not a big like current day on a lot of stuff. Like I have a hard time finding stuff in the pro shop that I like. So I think it's really fun to see some of this retro stuff that maybe is more my style. There he is. Fred, what's good, man? Yeah, your grandpa's looking tough. I always got him up here. Bringing me good luck. Hope all is well in your world, man. Good to see you. All right. What else we got to talk about? There's a lot to talk about. Training camp news. Some just general notes I got here. First and foremost, what a stark contrast to last year. If you think about last year, in the sense of a kicking game, if you think about last year, we had kind of a kicking carousel in training camp. And then I think it was at Narvison that won out, or did we get him after training camp? It was so bad that I can't even remember who we're all dealing with there. But Brandon McManus, he is showing that he earned that contract extension. He's making it look easy out there. I think he's still perfect in camp, which I probably just jinxed him, knocking on wood. But he is just banging them through. I mean, making them from 50 plus, very consistent. And that is what you love to see. It is nice not to have that talked about as much. I think the only time we're talking about it is because of how consistent he's been in camp. And last year it was the inconsistencies and the unknown. So really nice to be able to go into the season having a full off season with him as our kicker and kind of knowing what you have, getting him a chance to really get comfortable in the special teams unit, and now heading into a full camp, full preseasons, really getting that time to feel comfortable. He looked pretty comfortable last year. I mean, he stepped in, made a game winner his first weekend, and he's just looked comfortable. But just want to call that out. It's been great having him. Zach Tom, this is kind of old news now, but his big extension, honestly, well-deserved for him. We saw Elton Jenkins was kind of trying to hold out maybe for some more money, ultimately ended up reporting and getting back to work and figured it'll take care of itself, which good on him. I mean, that's a tough decision to make. You want to make sure that you're getting paid what you feel is due to you. The game of football is a brutal one, and there's no guarantee for your next snap. So getting all the money you can and capitalize where you can is huge. So I don't know. Hopefully it's the right decision for him. But you know, what can you do? I also want to say, let's see here. I saw Nathaniel Hackett is back in town, hired as a consultant for defense, very similar to the Sela position that we saw last year. I'm curious your guys' thoughts on that. I think the consultant thing is kind of odd, especially when the guy that's doing the consulting, I would think you'd kind of want maybe a defensive minded coach for that. If you're consulting on defense, I don't know if he's just consulting on defense or offense or what he's doing. I'm curious your thoughts on that. Let's see here, just kind of looking through some comments. Audrey, good to see you. Audrey and I used to work together. She is awesome. I miss gabbing with her during the day at work. She was a blast. I'm in a different role now, so I don't get to see her. Give me a 1990 crew neck any day of the week. I'm with you there, man. Tony, I heard they should check McManus for PEDs or PEDs because he's perfect in training camp. Yeah, man, I love to see it. That's a big win. I also thought it was interesting that Bo Melton, during OTAs, we saw them talking about, well, he's going to practice a little bit on corner, but he's still a wide receiver. And now it sounds from all things that he is strictly corner from what I've been seeing. I know Gutekunst made a remark about him being a corner. He switched his number from number 80 to 16, which 16, maybe it's because I'm used to like Joe Montana, but 16 feels like a quarterback number. I don't know a single, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know a single cornerback wearing number 16 in the NFL that's solid. Kind of same with receiver. I don't know. I legitimately cannot think of a non-quarterback who wears number 16 in the league. There has to be them. I don't know. Bo Melton, add him to the list. I think it's pretty smart for Bo to do that. If he can step into a cornerback spot, I think that's his best chance for him to make this squad. This squad has a lot of wide receivers. We have obviously, Christian Watson, Dobbs, Jaden Reed. I almost said Jaden Daniels. Jaden Reed. We've drafted 2 more. You have Wicks. You have Bo Melton, depending on what they do with him. There's probably guys I'm completely spacing because my brain's still in kind of off-season brain. There's a lot of competition at wide receiver and not nearly as much at corner. So that's a good opportunity for him to potentially step in, either secure himself a special teams role or even get some time if he steps into a cornerback role. maybe he gets some time as a corner. Sam Shields was a wide receiver in college until his senior year, stepped in to be a corner, and he was a hell of a corner for us. So there's a lot of, maybe you can make that jump if you have that speed. The nice part is if he makes that move, you hope he has decent hands to be a cornerback and can get maybe more interceptions and be more of a ball hawk. So I don't know. It's an interesting decision for him, trying to open up his options a little bit more. The nice part is he has some tape out there on wide receiver. So if he were to make that transition and then get cut, let's say, there's tape on him as a wide receiver. So someone might pick him up, which good on him if he is. Chad says the way they let them pick their numbers now is odd. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind like a little bit more freedom and flexibility with that. I'm just not used to it yet. Even though we've had it in the NFL now for a few years, I'm still not used to it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I'll ever get used to it. We'll see. Bo's brother Max also wears number 16 as a cornerback. I knew he played for the Cardinals, but I couldn't remember what number he wore. So that's really cool. Appreciate that little tidbit there, Ron. They're trying to bring back the Gold Zone or whatever it was. Is everyone gonna have to watch Austin Powers? Goldfinger? Is that what it is? Gold? Yeah, whatever it is. Austin Power Gold member. I don't know. I think it's Gold member. They're gonna make everyone watch that. Let's see. Saw some reports that LVN is having a nice start of his camp. I would love to see him just come on this year and just be rock solid for that defensive line. I know he got a lot of flack for last year, but I think something to remember with last year is he played the year a lot with a broken thumb. And it's like, okay, cool. It's a broken thumb. It shouldn't, you should still have some effectiveness to getting to the quarterback. These guys do so much with their hands that I think if you're playing through a broken thumb or dealing with a broken thumb, I think that's got to just wear on you as the game goes on. You put your hand on an offensive lineman, they're swatting for that thumb. They know it's broken. Everyone knows it's broken. That thing's being hit dozens of times a game. I'm sure you start to be a little bit more skittish about putting your hands there and doing your hand work. And I'm sure it just makes everything a lot more difficult. So I would love nothing more than to see him have an explosive year and really just come out hot for the Packers. Him and Gary having a stellar year would be phenomenal for me. And then Marshawn Lloyd dealing with a groin injury. I thought it was due to his hit from Hobbs, but it looks like it was an injury prior to that. I saw, Hobbs bringing the wood in practice, which got him in the doghouse a little bit. But Kaylee, good to see you. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Hope you had fun at Disney. I hope you guys can come up sometime for camp. It'd be good to see you again. Dan, good to see you. We talked about a little bit the new throwback uniforms. I'm a big fan of them. I think they're really cool. I love the very classic look of them. They're not super loud. We've seen the all greens that we had last were pretty cool as well. They're very kind of a simple, but I feel like these are a very classic look. Very, very much feel like that Notre Dame vibe with these, which as they should. They're very much inspired by Notre Dame. I think they're really cool. I might end up buying some gear. We'll see. Not 100% sure yet. Tony, I was thinking Bo's favorite player was Randy Wright, and that's why he chose 16. And I hope not. Before we start getting into some questions here, I have something fun I thought about yesterday that I put together last night. Shout out to my boy Tully and Kirby for being my I feel like I text them all these ideas I get, and then they're always the people that listen to me and give me some feedback. But what we're going to do, if you guys want to participate, I'm probably going to talk about it until the season starts. I put together a form where we can make our predictions for the season. Let's drop the link on this. If you guys want to, feel free to submit this sometime. It doesn't have to be right this second. It's not a time sensitive thing. I mean, you have a few weeks here. But what I'm going to do, see if I can't remember how to share my screen. So I got a prediction sheet here. And this is going to be kind of a fun thing that I want to do. Allowing all of us to kind of guess how the season's going to go. And then we can recap and look at it later on when the season is done. Asking you who you think your offensive rookie of the year is going to be. Who do you think the defensive rookie of the year is going to be for the Packers? Who's going to be the team overall MVP? How many games will the Packers win in the regular season? How far will the Packers make it in the season? How will the NFC North finish? This one's a little weird because you could select. Oh, is it? I'm in an edit mode. This one's a little weird because you could technically select first for both. I trust you guys are going to know what you're doing on that one. But you should kind of do like, something like this or what, whatever. Which team will be the biggest surprise this season from a positive perspective? And then who will be the biggest disappointment this season? What team is supposed to be that team and ends up falling flat on their face? Who's going to win the NFL MVP? Who's going to get number one overall, the overall pick for 2026? What two teams will be in the Super Bowl? Who will win the Super Bowl? And then you can put your name if you want to. And if you care to share or stay anonymous, I don't know that I'm going to necessarily do a ton of individual sharing, but if someone does really well on the selections, I might just talk about it. If we see like some outlandish guesses that really hit, or if we see like maybe someone just goes completely off the rails, maybe we'll talk about it in that way too. I don't know. It's going to be fun. I might fill one of these out. I'm not big on like making a ton of predictions as far as records or anything like that. What I will say is if there's any that you don't want to make a prediction on, maybe you're superstitious or whatever, you can skip any of them. So feel free to make the predictions you want to make, but do it after the show or something like that. That way we can get some results here and keep the questions coming, keep the interaction coming. It's always fun when I got you guys talking. With that, let's get to some burning hot questions. We're flying through on time already, which is a good thing. Before we do the burning hot questions, I am going to drop that giveaway link once again. Just make sure you fill this out and make sure you are here when we draw the winner. That way, if you win, you can claim your prize and we can see what you win. You do have to be here to win, so just make sure you're here. But yeah, get those questions going. Let's get into our first burning hot questions of the year. Shout out to my friends over at Legend Larry's coming through and sponsoring the show once again. I love Legend Larry's. Anyone who knows me knows that. And it's not just because they're a proud sponsor of this show. I've been going to Legend Larry's for years. And I will say they have their new lava sauce, which is a limited time sauce. If you're coming into town, I definitely recommend checking it out. I know the name sounds pretty intimidating, a lava sauce, but I will say it's not super hot. If there's any critique I would have for it is that I wish it were a little bit hotter. But I will say it's an incredible sauce, really good sweetness and sweet heat. I think it would be a perfect grilling sauce. I'm trying to start a petition for them to make this into a bottled sauce so I can buy way too much of it, but it would be perfect for grilling. Yeah, just if you get into town and you like that kind of thing, try that sauce. If not, just go to Legend Larry's, period. And if my boy Jim is working, just tell him I sent you. You probably don't know who Jim is, but Jim's the man. He's a manager over there. Great guy, hard worker, really looks out for me every time I go in there. All right. We have Chad starting out hot. What has Mason's favorite part of training camp been so far? So thank you for the question, Chad. So we went to training camp on Mason's birthday, and it was a lot of fun, but watching training camp with a 2-year-old, you're not really watching much of anything. Mason's favorite part, one, was yelling, "Go Pack, go." a lot. He loves yelling "Go Pack Go." Like we'll have him in his crib at night. It'll be bedtime. We have a camera that we watch him on, and he's laying there. He's shuffling around, and you just hear him going, "Go Pack Go, Go Pack Go," and he'll just do na 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 na. But he doesn't do like the rhythm right. So it's like no 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 Go Pack Go, which is really cute. But to answer your question, he loved yelling "Go Pack Go" a lot because we told him that we're going to be doing Go Pack Goes. The other thing, and I don't show Mason's face otherwise, I would show some pictures or videos of this, but the other thing he loved doing was getting high fives from players. There was I don't even know which player it was, to be honest with you. I didn't even look it up after the fact. But there's a couple guys that one was high-fiving people. And as he got to Mason, or as he got closer to Mason, there's a gap between us and the person he was high-fiving. So he kind of went back into the lane to start driving. And then he saw Mason reaching out, trying to get a high five. And the dude just hit the brakes, stopped, picked up the entire bike, and walked over. Just took his time, walked over, and gave Mason a big high five. And Mason was hyped, just so hyped. So Mason really enjoyed that. He enjoyed watching the defensive line. We kind of walked down on the other side of the fence, away from where you'd normally see the players with the bikes. We walked around on the other side by, I think, the distilleries right there. And we watched some practice there, and they had the defensive line doing drills, and hearing the pop of the jerseys. He really liked that as well. So he just had a good time, man. He loves being at Lambeau Field. He loves going in the pro shop. He loves going up the escalators. So it was just all a good time. Thanks for that question, Chad. If you got questions, keep dropping them. I love doing the burning hot questions. I know it's not as exciting with it kind of being off season, but what are your thoughts on draft picks? And do you think Melton will be better at corner? Thanks, Heather. I hope you're doing well. I'll talk about the NFL draft as a whole for a little bit too, but draft picks are tough. I always kind of give the same answer when people ask me about draft picks. I have just tell people to ask me again in like 2 to 3 years. I think it's really hard to assess draft picks. I don't even think NFL executives know what a draft pick is going to do. Otherwise, you wouldn't see NFL bust, right? It's all a guessing game. But I'm really happy that they kind of grabbed a couple more weapons just in case. I mean, I feel like it felt like for the longest time, the Packers were always like a draft and develop with wide receivers. We had veteran guys who would help these young guys come along. And then after Devontae left, it was just like all young guys. And so I like the fact of maybe potentially getting back more into taking 1 or 2 every few years just to kind of keep that draft and development going and teaching these young guys the Packer way. I was very surprised that they didn't add more at a cornerback level, especially if they knew they were going to get rid of Jair. Now I saw some news that potentially Jair's having some issues with his knee still. I didn't look super into it, but I saw something about that he's been having fluid in his knee. So if that's the case, maybe that's another reason why the Packers decided to kind of part ways with him. I'm not sure exactly there. But all in all, just talking about the draft as a whole, talk about a phenomenal time. We got the chance to, Tony linked up with us, which was fun. And then we had Tully with us as well. So it was pretty funny because it felt like we all knew each other. I mean, I've known Tully now for a lot longer, but Tony, having him come to the draft with us, it was fun because it felt like we all knew each other from the live shows. Tony and Tully are like, "Oh, Tully, what's up, man?" And it was just like, I think that's the really fun part about these live shows is that we get to see a lot of fun interaction between people. And I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do, but I feel like there's really good vibes in the live shows and just super friendly people. And I think it's a lot of fun. So the draft was just such a phenomenal experience. And I think one person was arrested during the entire 3-day event with 600,000+ people. You really couldn't have asked for a better time. The only downside was that it rained on Friday, but other than that, it was awesome. So Akota said, "How was Como Zoo?" Man, Como Zoo was phenomenal. It was really hot, but it was a lot of fun. Mason's all about animals right now, and he's all about roaring at me like he's a lion. So it was a lot of fun. Kirby says Watson, Golden, Reed, wide receiver lineup potential once Watson is healthy. Man, that's where it gets fun when you start seeing these like speed elements and what you could do with them if you can get Watson over the top and use Golden speed, which Love and Golden have really kind of hit a connection already early on in camp. I saw Golden had a long touchdown bomb where he was able to sneak behind some defenders today. You obviously don't love seeing that on a defensive side, but man, seeing that from an offensive side, I'll take it all day long. I'm excited. You know, you get some crisp route running from Romeo. You have some speed there. You have Wicks, who is really good at getting open, had some hands issues, but I trust that's going to get fixed. Josh says, "So glad you're back." Me too, Josh. Wife, 1-year-old and 7-year-old heading up tomorrow. 8-hour drive to training camp. Oh my God, speed, my friend. 8 hours with a 1-year-old sounds like a nightmare. Safe travels and good luck to you. That's all I'll be saying. Who is our wide receiver 1, 2, 3? I know Jaden Reed is taking the first one, but you see that order changing on weekly. Our wide receiver or wide out room is competitive, but when you break it down, only a few can be on the field at once. Raymundo, thanks for that. Yeah, I think what you said. I think you're going to see, depending on the week, you know, you might see some guys shine a little bit more, depending on the scheme you're playing, depending on how they're utilized. I think that's a good thing, though. You know, I know, you know, it's so funny. It's kind of be one of my rants, but last year at this time of the year, everyone was saying, man, it's so awesome to have multiple solid wide receivers and not have that clear cut one guy because it allows you to scheme and do things. And then this year we see the offense kind of be sluggish at times, but I think that was by, I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but that narrative immediately shifted of, well, they need a clear cut number one. And I don't necessarily think that we necessarily need that clear cut number one. I think if you can have a lot of talent at wide receiver, you can be a very dangerous team. And I'm still hoping for that. I'm still being confident on that. I don't think you need a Devontae Adams to really shine. I think if anything that can actually do some harm with the offense, because you've seen Matt Stafford when he was with the Lions, he focused so much on Megatron that he actually got better when Megatron left. Favre focused heavy on Sterling Sharp, that he almost got better when Sterling left. Rodgers did it a lot throughout his career. He would heavily focus on one guy, and then when that guy would leave, he would have to go to the next one. And I think when there's not that clear cut, I expect to get the ball X amount of times because I'm the one. I think it can kind of make the offense a little bit more just powerful in general. But I'm excited to see what happens and where it goes. Tara, good to see you as well. Seeing the players interact with your kiddo really is a different kind of love for the Packers. You could not be more correct, Tara. I was telling my wife, I said, it's so funny because when I was younger, I'd come here hoping for autographs, and I found myself just like hoping that they would high five my son. And so many of them did high five Mason, and it was so cool. We got some videos, we got some pictures, and it was such a fun time. It makes me so excited for when Mason's older and we can kind of come do bikes and take on that experience a little bit more if he's interested, of course. Josh said it's his first time going to Legend Larry's. Green Bay we'll be coming to Legend Larry's Green Bay for the first time. Tell him I sent you, Josh. I don't know if Jim's going to be working, but tell him I sent you. Some of them might not know who I am, but my guy Jim will. If Jim's working, I don't know if he will. Marcy says, I'm sure I saw you at training camp. I also brought a 2-year-old. Such a great experience. Oh, Marcy. Well, it was good to kind of see you. You probably did. I was there with my 2-year-old, my wife. I hope you had a great experience with your 2-year-old. And it's so cool to see the magic through their eyes of training camp and all the Packers and stuff like that. Chris says, how about the crowd pop leading up to Golden being drafted? That was really fun. It was fun to see the crowd be so loud for that experience. I've said this a few times now, but I really loved how you would hear the crowd kind of separate in two sides. You'd I see a few other questions. I'm posting that giveaway once again. Fill that out if you haven't done so already. Only once per person, please. I'm going to be drawing the winner here shortly. But I've said this a few times now, but it was really funny being there in person because Mark comes out and says, for the first time since 2002, and you heard half the crowd just being loud. They knew right away we're drafting a receiver. And then Mark says, we're drafting a receiver or whatever. And then the rest of the crowd just like, goes crazy for it. But it was such a fun experience. I saw, was it Keith? Yeah, Keith asking about the draft experience. Honestly, it was such a great time. I was dreading the draft, if we're being honest. I don't do well in like large groups of people or large crowds. I don't like have a nervous breakdown or anything like that, but I just like smaller, more intimate settings. And I was worried that it's going to be really hard to navigate everywhere, depending on how many people we had. When you see the videos, it looks like it's like shoulder to shoulder for a sea of people, and you can't even get out to go to the bathroom, or you can't even get out if you need to just step away. But where we stood was perfect. We were kind of in the back of the crowd. We had plenty of space around us. There's a lot of people, but it wasn't impossible. It wasn't impossible to meet, like to get around, and by no means did I feel like I was claustrophobic. So it was such a great time. Highlight of the draft is meeting up with you guys. Yeah, I agree. I mean, really, the draft itself was cool. I thought it was a little odd, or maybe not odd. I've just never done the draft before. I thought it was interesting that they make a selection and then it's like music being played for 9 to 10 minutes. I was expecting more like analysts talking about the pick or something a little bit more there. So really the highlight was just standing around and talking to people, getting to know people. And that was a lot of fun. Dan, we've talked about it a couple times already. I'm sure you're just jumping in. No big deal there. What do I think about the new throwback uniforms? I love them. I love the simplicity. I love how classic they feel. I don't buy mini jerseys anymore. I've been picking up 90s jerseys a lot more, so I might scoop up a 90s jersey, or I might scoop up one, but I'm not sure because I've basically just been buying old 90s jerseys, but I might buy one if they allow me to get a custom. I might get an Edgerrin Cooper. Ron says, I'm curious to see how the offensive line shakes out. Yeah, it's tough because you're seeing some moving pieces, right? You see Elton move into center. Zach is good. Sean Ryan. You got the tackle spot that's you have Rasheed Walker. And I know they're talking about putting Morgan on one tackle spot. Morgan, we didn't see a lot of last year because of injuries, so it's really tough. It's a tough one. I think you're going to see you're going to see a little bit of hiccups, I think, for a little bit, but I'm hoping that it kind of establishes itself. Dan says, I heard Wicks was doing extra training to help with drops. I hope that's the case. I mean, Wicks is killer. I've said this time and time again. Wicks reminds me of a young Devonta Adams in the sense that he's always getting open. We just need to get him to catch the ball. So I have a lot of faith in him yet. Kirby's talking about his 3-year-old yelling skull at him. Oh my, that's bad. Tony says, where's Corey tonight? Corey's in Australia. I don't know what time it is in Australia, but it is late. So he is sleeping. Ron, did you get the post for the drawing? I'm going to be doing it here. If you haven't, there it is again. I'm going to be doing it here probably in another couple minutes. Oh, there you go. Chad says probably at work. It's 11 a.m. Wednesday for him. Yeah. Corey's probably actually working hard, not doing that. He actually sent me, I just got a box of goodies from him. He sent me some more candy bananas. So I'm excited to get into those. And he sent me some other stuff. I'm really excited to get into those. Tony, I wish you lived closer. I'd give you a handful of those candy bananas again. I snuck some into the draft to give Tony when we were at the draft. Ron, let me know when you got that giveaway. So I will, I'll kick that off. But yeah, the draft was such a cool experience. I hope most of you guys got to go experience it if you wanted to go experience it. It was just such a fun time. I mean, there was a few things that kind of were weird to me. One being that they had exits down at Stadium View side, and they only had entrances up by Kroll's. So it's kind of weird. Are you guys not seeing the link at all? What is going on here? Let me jump over to Facebook to see if I can see it. It should be showing up here. I see it in Facebook on my end. Is anyone else seeing it or not seeing it? I guess I could look at. I see responses in it, so people have seen it. Let me see if I can just respond. Sorry, guys. Just want to make sure everyone has a chance. Oh my gosh, I'm hearing myself. Hope you guys aren't hearing that. Replying to Ron. All right, Ron, I just replied to you on that one. I saw it. Someone else that saw it. A lot of people see it on Facebook. Here you go, Alfonso. I'm sending it to you individually in Facebook chat as well. Just want to make sure everyone has a chance to enter if you haven't done so already, so that way we can get in there and do our giveaway drawing here soon. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. Some of the things that they had as far as like the dive bar that they did pop up on. What I thought was odd is they harped downloading this app and registering for your pass to get in, and they never even asked for us to scan anything. I don't know. It was a weird setup as far as security standpoint. I felt like it was easy to get in, and then also at the same time they had snipers on the roof. So it was kind of odd in that regard too, that it was relatively easy to get in, relatively lax, but man, there were snipers on the roof. There's people with like full military outfits. It was wild. Alfonso got it. Ron, are you in as well? If so, we'll jump in here and do the giveaway drawing. Just want to see, we're all in off-season mode, right? We're all at figuring this out. I had some technical difficulties earlier. We're all figuring out the live show. The drone show was incredible. I see Tully mentioning that. The drone show was super cool. We watched it from a distance. We actually left after the draft once that final pick was selected. One, I didn't know how long it was going to take for them to get into the drone show, and it had rained all day, and my shoes were soaked. My feet were soaked. I was freezing. Thankfully, I wore my winter coat. I wore like a Packers winter coat. And I was like, okay, I don't know how long this is going to take for this drone show to start. So we started walking out, and we got to actually see it from back. It was super cool. Christy, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. I didn't know your last name, so I didn't realize who I was even had in here. Really good to see you, Christy. Went to Lumen Field last Saturday for a concert, and didn't even check our bags at all. That is wild, Christy. That is wild. Hope you had a good time. Sorry for not recognizing you right away, Christy. I can't see profile pictures very well in what like in my StreamYard thing here, and I didn't know last names. So, Dan says, I'm going to family night for first time. Any pointers? In what regards, Dan? Are you saying like parking or just in general? Let me know a little bit more what you're looking for there. Ron, I don't know if you're in or not. I'm going to look at my responses here real quick. Boy, my mouse is always being difficult during these live shows. I still don't know if you're in here or not. I could just manually enter you in on it too. It's not a big deal. All right, let me take a look at this. I'm going to get this sheet going while we're kind of doing that. I'll still kind of keep yapping at you. All right, Ron says he's in. All right, there I see you. Awesome. So let's Beast Mode showed up at Lumen and people lost their minds. That's awesome. What concert did you see, Christy? So Dan, I don't know if you know this, depending on how long you've been following my page or what posts you see, but I have a website that helps people find all sorts of things. thegreenbayguy.com. Kids stuff I could probably use a little bit more. The new zoo is really cool. The wildlife sanctuary is awesome. Bay Beach is popular. Bay Beach is a pretty family friendly thing to do. The tickets are pretty cheap for Bay Beach. Those are all cool things to do. There is Trampoline Park, which I feel like those are a dime a dozen. But those are really the big things I'll call out. Titletown is really awesome for kids. There's a lot of parks there. I think it's a lot of fun. Cam, good to see you, buddy. Shout out to Brittany. Good to see you guys. Hope all is going well over there. Saw Morgan Mullen. Nice. All right, I'm going to get this going here so that way we can do our giveaway drawing. Give me 1 second while I get this going. All right. So before we do the giveaway, I want to say thank you to Nicolet Law for sponsoring this. Last year, if you watched the live shows, you know that every time the Packers lost, we doubled up on giveaways the following week. And Nicolet Law said, let's run it back. Nicolet Law, even when bad things happen, like the Packers lose, and they want to make sure that they got your back. So all year long, we're going to be at least doing one giveaway a week. Weeks, if the Packers lose that following Tuesday, we'll do 2 giveaways. I'm going to knock out an ad read so we can keep the lights on here. But when it comes to injuries, you need a good game plan, and that's where Nicolet Law comes in. Insurance companies have their own playbook, and it's usually not written in your favor. Nicolet Law helps you level the playing field. They are based right here in the Midwest. Actually, Russell Nicolet graduated from Green Bay, Bayport, I believe, and they've helped thousands of injured folks get back on their feet. They deal with insurance companies, so you do not have to. They fight to get you what's fair, and they don't get paid unless you win, which is huge. If you are injured, get Nicolet. Visit nicoletlaw.com or call 1-855-NICOLET. All right. Shout out to Nicolet. I mean, really, I wouldn't be able to do these giveaways without them, so I really can't thank them enough. Let's working on sharing this. Oh, my screen's a little slow. Bayport represent. Casey, what's good, man? Titletown is where the kids go. I see some comments. James, good to see you, buddy. All right, let's draw this winner. Good luck, everyone. First one back on the year. Let's see who we got. I was gonna say, no way, Tully, are you sniping the first one? We got Randy. Randy, if you are still in here, please let me know, and give me a number between. I think we're 1 and 35 this year. Yes, give me a number between 1 and 35 if you could, please. I am lagging on my end. Is it lagging for you guys, or is it just me? All right, we'll see if Randy joins here or not. Oh, Randy's here, and pick 22. Is that for Matthew Golden, or are you just is 22 your lucky number? All right. We got 22. You won't be able to see it. It's pretty it bleeds out because of all the light, but let's see what Randy rocked out first. Randy got himself a 1962 championship photo. One of my favorite photos. So I'll shoot you an email, Randy. That way we can get you. That way we can get you your picture over. I'm going to mail that out this week. I got a whole plethora of other stuff to mail out. So I'll shoot that email to you probably tonight yet, Randy. Thank you all so much for taking the time to enter. and I'm so excited to be back. I also want to say thank you to Nicolet Law for making these giveaways possible. I know I've said that already, but really, I'm just truly grateful. We got family night coming up. I will be there with my little man. I'm super excited about it. I hope to see you guys there if you're going. If you do see me, feel free to stop me, say hi, even if I'm trying to corral a 2-year-old. I always like saying hi to people and chatting a little bit. It's always good talking to people. Last year, I ended every show with a different story, and I figured we'd do the same this year. As long as I can kind of think of unique stories, I might have to duplicate some from last year. We'll see. We'll see how long we can go. So the Packers showcased their new uniforms last week, and I saw a lot of people confused by the blue and gold as opposed to the green and gold. I saw a lot of comments, some on my own social media, stating that they looked very, very similar and like they were stolen from Notre Dame. And I thought it was pretty common knowledge. I'm going to guess most people who are watching this live stream probably know tonight's story or tonight's fact. But I thought it was common knowledge that everyone who is a Packers fan knew, but it must not be if people were that confused. The reason why the Packers originally wore blue and gold, or that the Packers even originally wore blue and gold. A lot of people apparently didn't know that, but if you didn't know why the Packers originally wore blue and gold, it's because Curly Lambeau went to Notre Dame College briefly. He got a severe case of tonsillitis, and he ended up having to miss a semester, which ultimately he didn't go back to Notre Dame. He went to work instead. And when he kickstarted the Packers, he chose the colors of being blue and that gold, kind of the Notre Dame colors, if you will. So yes, the jerseys are very heavily inspired by Notre Dame because Curly Lambeau was very inspired by Notre Dame for his original color scheme. So it is by no coincidence that the throwback jerseys the Packers rolled out are very similar of that. I thought that was common knowledge, but apparently it wasn't. I saw so many people that were confused why it was blue and gold and not green and gold. But, with all the throwback jerseys we've had over the years being blue and gold, you'd think that they'd remember that reasoning or what. James, you said you got that blue sweatshirt and garden flag. You didn't buy me a sweatshirt, man? What's going on? I see Mr. Langhorn. You too. Thank you all for hanging out. Episode 1. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Like I said, if you are going to family night and you see me, feel free to stop, say hi. If you see me at training camp or whatever, stop, say hi. I always love chatting Packers with people and meeting people. So, Christy talks about the trolley tour. Before I go, I'm gonna give you this. The trolley tour for people to learn more about history. The best part about the trolley tour is that if you have a rental car, you do not need to do the rental, or if you have a rental car or your own transportation, you do not need to do the trolley. You don't need to pay for it. You can go do the Heritage Trail on your own for free. The map is out there online. You can go see all the spots around town. The trolley, they probably give a lot of details about all the stops, but to be able to just go drive around and see all these sites is so cool. When Corey was in town, we actually went over to Curly Lambeau's gravesite. I had never stopped there before. Went to Old City Stadium. We went to Curly's birth home. We drove by Vince Lombardi's house that he had in Green Bay, which is a residential home still, but it's on the Heritage Trail map, or at least it was, which is odd. So we checked out a lot of different places, which it's so cool to have that history right in my backyard. And honestly, I think anyone who's coming into town, if you have that ability to and you're interested in history, I couldn't recommend that enough as well. This mustache, I don't know who this guy is, but yeah, that mustache would not be allowed at family night. Probably not allowed within some range of a school. Is anyone else having issues hearing me? Either way, I'm going to be logging out here soon. I hope you can hear me. I hope I'm not just rambling for fun, but I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you had enjoyed the episode. If you have any feedback for me, I'd love to see it. I want to say thank you once again to Nicolet Law and Legend Larry's for sponsoring the show before we dip out. And before I go, before I go, fill this out. I want to see if you weren't here earlier, we're doing a season prediction this year. Fill this out as kind of my, oh my gosh, my mouse is being, I think the battery's going out on it. It's being bad. Fill this out if you so choose. I want to see your season predictions this year. We're going to be doing some season predictions. And then at the end of the year, with one of our final live shows, we're going to recap these predictions. I think this is going to be a fun way to see how the season goes based off of this. So excited to see it. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you all have a great week. Hope to see you at family night. And as always, go Pack Go. See you next week. Same time, same place.